Hey guys, my name is Neel and welcome to Neel Workshop Zone. So in this episode, we're going to be learning about HTML. So, HTML, you might have heard of this term, at various places. But what does HTML stand for? HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language. So it is used for creating web pages and designing web pages, and it kind of helps the computer to understand what this code is. So that is HTML. So in HTML code, there is something known as an element. So an element helps the computer realize, that this is a code. So an element basically starts with and start tag and ends with an end tag. So for example, it starts like this, and here you have the content, and ends like this. And one important thing to remember is when you're writing the end tag, you must almost have a slash. You must every time have a slash. So this is an example of how an element works. So there are multiple examples of this, like H, which we'll talk about later, P, etc. So you have to write some content here, and you have to end it with a slash and brackets. So the format that you save the HTML files are doc.type HTML, and they're not case sensitive. And so now let's talk about how to write a HTML program. So first it starts with brackets, doc.type HTML. And then you write, HTML, and this is the root of the code, because it helps the computer to understand this is an HTML program. And next you have a head. So you write a head like this, and you write another head. And in the middle of both of these tags, you can write both of these elements. You can write something like title, welcome, and title. And so the head part is over here. And now let's write the body part. So there is an place here, so I'm writing over here. Let's write body, and for example, let's take a heading, the second H1. So these like for example, you have head and another head. So you might be thinking, what is the use of head and head? So it is used for the computer to recognize that it's taking place inside of the main part, the upper part of the program, and also for you to realize while programming that yes, the title part is written in the head part. Next you have body, which takes place in the middle part. So in body you can write, for example, H, which stands for heading. Now there are 6 types of sizes that you can have in a font. For example, if you write H1, it gives a big font. So for example, let's write H1 heading. You can write anything you want at the content, but for example, I'm writing like this. Let's say have paragraph, and let's write imagine I wrote some paragraph, and let's send it here. Slash P1. And always remember to give slashes. So after this, you just end it with another body. And next you write HTML slash HTML, and that is basically how a HTML program works. So if you're asking how it prints, then the example, it's going to print out, so imagine when you open up a web page, it's going to print something like welcome. It says heading, and there is some content over here. So you basically made a website out of HTML. So it's that simple. So now you might be thinking, okay, so if HTML is this easy, what do we need to, which type of application do you need to use to make HTML format? And you need to use an HTML editor. Now, HTML editor is not a application or type of software or anything. It's just text editors and Notepad, etc. So you can basically make an HTML program in your own Notepad. And if you're asking how, the instructions are: first, you need to open Notepad. Second, you need to type out the code. And third, when you click save, you get the option to, where to save the file. And when you get that option, you can, save it wherever you want. But you have to, save the file name as, for example, imagine you want to name that, keep that website name as first. So you have to write first.html. So when you type it like this, it actually understands that this is an HTML program, and it actually, creates like a website. And on the right side of it, you have an encoding. So, it's a box where you can select which type of encoding the file is. And in that encoding, you have to select UTF-8. So when you choose UTF-8 and click OK, it must create a small website, on a desktop if you wish to save it there. So that is basically how an HTML works. Now, let's talk about how an attribute works. Okay, so now let's learn about attributes. So attributes give more information about elements. And so for example, let's take the tag A. So tag A is used to refer as, hyperlink. So if you don't know what hyperlink is, if you check my description of my video, you can see that, I most probably have check my previous video. So when you click that, it redirects you to that, to that page. So this actually does that, it's a hyperlink element. So for example, let's take www.youtube.com/Neel workshop zone. It's also like source. So when you write this in an HTML code, it suddenly shows like a hyperlink. So when you click on it, it directly leads to my, YouTube channel. So this is what attributes are used for. They're used for, different purposes. So for example, now that we have learned that A is used for hyperlink, what does SRC stand for? SRC stands for source. So imagine you want to keep an image in your website, some sort of image, and you have it in a gallery, but you need to keep it. You can just, type SRC. Imagine the file name is Neel_1.jpg. You can just type Neel_1.jpg. So when you type this, it suddenly, it shows the image directly. But you have to give the details like the size, the, where it should be placed, etc. But if you want to bring which type of image, you have to give the source, which is really important. So there are also different types of attributes like style, which helps you decide, the font, the color, and different sizes. Next you have languages, which just helps you decide, which type of language, if it's English, Hindi, etc. Next you have, different types of attributes which is for different purposes. So now that we learn about other attributes, there's still a lot more attributes, right? So I can't say all of them, so you have to do your own research. You have to, go on to Google, maybe type in HTML attributes or anything you have doubt with, and you have to just stick from Google. And I would recommend trying, making a website on your own, because you get more ideas and it's like a trial and error method, and you will remember, the elements and about HTML for a really long time. So, that is about HTML and how a HTML program is written, how to save it, and what are HTML attributes. So, hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't miss out any new videos. And that's all, folks, and see you in the next one. Bye bye.